In this video, I'm gonna give you my top tips to get past being shy. And it starts right now. Hello everybody! Welcome to Legendary Leo. I'm your host, Legendary Leo. And I used to be one hell of a shy boy. I'm talking when I was in high school. I used to hide behind the school building and wait for my mom to pick me up. I was hiding because there were too many people up front and I hated the social cliques. I hated to act cool, trying to fit in and all that nonsense. I just straight up didn't want to be around anyone. I'd rather go to another planet to be alone if I could. I was the happiest when I was alone and I liked it that way. When you grow up, you find out real fast that you need other people, be it to help you do projects, or guess what? When you get to a point in your career, there's something called office politics, and it's a real thing. So in order to advance, you're gonna have to learn how to navigate social norms. So let's get at it, you weirdo. Let's figure out how to be a normie. Gosh darn normies. So tip number one, this method definitely played a factor in helping me overcome my shyness, and it was to find a part-time job that forced me to interact with people on the regular. I worked at Quiznos. We love these songs! Working that kind of job had me interact with strangers every single day, non-stop people coming in, and I was asked to be super friendly and engaged. Being able to interact with people in a controlled setting does wonders. I know one of the hardest parts of social interaction is how the heck do I end the social interaction? Do I just walk away quietly? Do I pull a Mass Effect?
I should go.
Do I thank them for their time and then run away? Do I make something up and pretend to look at my phone and just fade away? There's so many ways to get out of them, it's hard to figure out what to do. People who are not shy don't quite understand this. The normies. Working behind the counter in the food industry help because there's always an end point to the conversation, and that's when they finish their order. Social interaction complete, move on to the next one. You're gonna see a trend here with my tips. Much like other phobia therapies, the best method to get past it is exposure. So maybe it doesn't have to be working in the food industry. Food industry sucks because of the people. But if you have free time, get yourself a retail job. I also worked at Walmart, and my job was to stock the shelves, but you get constantly stopped and asked where things are because people don't know how to look. Sometimes I would make it a point though to find customers to help, see if someone seems to be looking for something and ask them, is there anything I can do to help you with? Once again, I'm in a controlled setting where I'm there for a service, I'm providing information that can be useful, and once I serve that person, coming up with dialogue choice is going to be easy to get out of the conversation, and that helps tremendously. For example, here's the dog food you were asking about. If you need anything else, just come over a couple aisles over and that's where you'll find me. Thank you. And then you walk away. Tip number two. And this is maybe if you don't have time to get another job to force these kinds of interactions, here's something you can do in your free time, and it's easy to get out of the conversation. Call someone. Make it something simple. Make it something you know a lot about. If you're into computers and know a lot about technology, call Best Buy. Not a sponsor. Ask to speak to someone who has knowledge on something you know. Maybe you already know the answers to these questions, but the point is to naturally drag out the conversation so you get the most experience. Basic premise that I'm getting at here is you have to force yourself to climb out of your cave and interact with people. That's the only way I've found to get past shyness. One of the best things that I've done that helped me get past my shyness was to pretend like you already know everyone. If you're like me, you're not shy around the people you know. In fact, they probably want you to shut up. Before I was even comfortable being around people, I used to get the you used to be so shy back in the day. Point was, I was pretending. Fake it until you make it is a real thing. Tend to be friends with someone even if you don't know them. Act and do things you would do if you knew them completely. You'll find that people will accept you more when you act like your true self. People will love you if you just show them who you are. It's all mental, it's all in your head, and it's something you have to constantly work at and think about. Get out of your head. No one is sitting there thinking about how weird you are until you freak out about them thinking you're acting weird, and then you're just sitting there being a weirdo, and they're like, oh my God, look at that weirdo. And you're just like, oh no, it's compound interest. If you want to be the social butterfly that you desire to be, you have to work at it. Some of it comes with age. The older you get, the less you care about what people think of you. Some days I get it. You don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be around people. You just want to hide in your little cave and you want to play video games and you just want to do you, and that's okay. If that's what you want to do on that day, you do you, boo. But if you want to work at it, gotta expose yourself to other people. My final tip that I will suggest, and this worked better before a global pandemic, but maybe it still applies because you can wear a mask now, and if you're shy, wearing a mask is good, but challenge yourself to physically go out and socialize. Be a yes man when people ask you to do things. Your neighbor's like, hey, come to my housewarming party. Your immediate reaction is like, no, do I turn off all the lights and hide in the darkness until they leave me alone? You have to fight that. Do it, hang out with them, have a good time, Talk about sports, the weather, traffic, things you know people will talk about. Although I'd avoid trigger topics like politics and religion. If somehow you end up on those topics, just ask questions about their beliefs. Don't offer your opinion. As polarizing as those things are nowadays, the safest thing to do is to play dumb and act neutral. As someone who is shy, the last thing you want to do is make someone mad at you. That's all I have. It's a process, something you have to continue to work at. It gets so much easier, so don't get discouraged. Keep at it. Let me know in the comments below, what are your tactics for overcoming shyness? And if you like this video and you want to become legendary, consider subscribing. It's what all the cool kids are doing. So thank you so much for watching. I have been Legendary Leo. We're almost there.